In Russia, the media reports on Tony Stark revealing that he is Iron Man Ivan Vanko, grieving the death of his father Anton Vanko, a former Stark Industries engineer, sees this and builds a miniature arc reactor like Stark's using old Stark Industries designs left behind by Anton. 6 months later, Tony decides to honor his father Howard's legacy and reopens the Stark Expo in New York City's Flushing Meadows, Corona Park. He refuses demands from the government and rival industrialist Justin Hammer to hand over his armored suits. At the same time, Tony discovers that the palladium core in his arc reactor, which keeps him alive and powers his armor, is slowly killing him, and he cannot find a replacement. Growing depressed about his approaching death and keeping it secret, Tony names his assistant Pepper Potts as CEO of Stark Industries and hires company employee Natalie Rushman to take over as his assistant. Tony enters the Monaco Historic Grand Prix, where Vanko attacks him during the race using electrified whips powered by his own arc reactor. Tony suits up and defeats Vanko, but his armor is badly damaged. Vanko says he wanted to show the world that Iron Man can be beaten. Impressed, Hammer fakes Vanko's death, helps him escape prison, and asks him to create a new line of armored suits to surpass Stark. Vanko chooses to build unmanned drones to remove the human weakness. At his birthday party, Tony gets drunk while wearing the Iron Man armor. Frustrated by Tony's behavior, his best friend, U.S. Air Force Lieutenant Colonel James Rhodes, puts on Tony's prototype armor to stop him. The fight ends without a winner, and Rhodes takes the prototype armor for the U.S. Air Force. S.H.I.E.L.D. director Nick Fury then meets Tony, revealing that Rushman is actually Agent Natasha Romanoff and that Fury personally knew Howard Stark. A founder of S.H.I.E.L.D. Fury explains that Howard and Anton Vanko created the arc reactor together, but Howard had Anton deported after he tried to sell it, leading the Soviets to imprison Anton in the Gulag. Fury gives Tony some of his father's old work. Using a model of the 1974 Stark Expo, Tony discovers a hidden design for a new element. With help from JARVIS, he creates it and replaces the deadly palladium core. After learning Vanko is alive, Tony goes to Hammer's Expo, where armored drones are introduced, led by Rhodes in a heavily armed suit called War Machine. As Tony tries to warn him, Vanko remotely takes control of the drones and Rhodes's armor and attacks Tony. Hammer is arrested for freeing Vanko, while Romanoff and Tony's bodyguard Happy Hogan break into Hammer's factory. Vanko escapes, but Romanoff hacks the system and returns control of Rhodes's armor. Together, Tony and Rhodes defeat Vanko, who kills himself by detonating his suit and the drones. In a final briefing, Fury tells Tony that because of his personality, S.H.I.E.L.D. will only use him as a consultant. Tony and Rhodes are awarded medals for their actions. In a post-credits scene, S.H.I.E.L.D. agent Phil Coulson finds a massive hammer in New Mexico.